Today I'll be doing a set of full coverage tips inspired by the drunkard Roselia herself. So let's go. I'll be starting with step 3 of the Apres system because I'm a rebel without a cause, a girl boss that makes her own rules, and I'm going to be using it to scrub the heck out of these iGel Beauty Pro Gel tips, and these are the short almond shape. Make sure you scrub when you're a little bit angry because if you just swipe this on gently, it's not going to etch anything. You want to be able to see some visible lines because think of it this way. You want to make the gel tip hold hands with whatever product you're using to apply it, and it's kind of hard to hold hands when you don't have any fingers. These lines you're creating with the prep, those are your fingers. Now currently your nail plates are home to a city of cuticle, but we're tearing down the lot and putting a new building here, so they're gonna have to move out. Pushing back your cuticles is like the first eviction notice. You politely ask them to leave and nudge them in the right direction. The second eviction notice is done by Mr. Diamond Bit, and he'll come in and scoop up any stubborn residents. Anyone that refuses to leave will be confronted by law enforcement officials, the head of which is Chief Sanding Band. Now we don't want any lawsuits on our hands, so just make sure you go in with no excessive force. Just a quick sweep of the perimeter in and out. Once the perimeter is secure and we're certain that every cuticle has left the premises, it's time to prep the land for the foundation. There's no need to go wild. Just a quick skip over will do the job. Just don't be like me and accidentally use a grit that's far too coarse. After all, we want to prep the nail, not remove it. Now that dust has covered every surface you own, including the interior of your lungs, just make sure you clean what really matters, the surface of your nails. I can handle a dusty lung or two as long as my nails are looking good while I'm doing so. An optional finishing touch is trimming the excess skin from your cuticle area. As if my fingers weren't dry enough, I'm going to remove any residual oils with a quick swipe over with dehydrator. And follow that with a very sparing application of some primer. I'm going to be applying these with peel off base, so I want to be able to remove them relatively easily, but also have them stay on for as long as I want. So I'm just applying this to the cuticle and the tip just to kind of seal the edges, kind of like when you tuck in both edges of your tortilla when wrapping a burrito. Here's where I slather on that peel off base coat in a generous layer. This one is from Koko and Claire. Now I invite you all to raise a glass and join me in a drinking game where we take a shot every time I wiggle my fingers. I never realized how often I did it until I watched this video back. I started off applying this set with some very clean and definitely not covered in food, clear Macart polygel, but it turned out to be a hot mess without any of the hotness. It also didn't help that these nail tips are not made for very curved nail beds, but this was also my very first time trying to use polygel, and I just found it so uncomfortable, like it didn't flow very nicely, so I gave up on that pretty quickly. Though I do want to experiment more with polygel, I do believe that these were not the right nails to be testing it on, so I switched back onto the extendo train and things went a lot smoother. Everything went great until the index finger. Sometimes you just apply a nail and it looks like you're pointing even when you're not. And you know that big exhale you take, like, well, if I look at it this way it looks fine, and you know, you just try to will it into being straight, but I just took the lazy way out and filed one side. Even with a peel off base, I'm too lazy to reapply it. Now I'm just going around and trying to soften the lip that the tip creates. Unfortunately, you can't use lip softeners like Blistex or Burt's Bees. You're gonna have to use a ceramic bit. The one I'm using here is a ceramic one from Macart, which will be linked in the description. And when you go to clean your nails off here, just make sure you also wipe underneath them, because if there's any exposed extend gel, you want to remove the inhibition layer. I am just going to polish the middle finger for now, where I'm doing some hand painting. This is where our dearest Roselia will be going. Before you use these young nails paints, it's a good idea to stir them first, and just keep stirring until your will to live returns. I'm just kidding, you can't upload endless videos. So just stir until it's mixed, I guess. And using your thickest with 2C's dotting tool, use that to create a general circle shape on your nail. Then you can go in and touch up your edges with a detail brush if you need to. Mark the center of your face and start adding your details. I don't know why I'm talking through this like it's a tutorial that other people are going to execute, because I highly doubt that any of you are going to be painting this on your nails, but here we are. Maybe I'll just clam it and let you watch. This video should really be called "How many times can I redraw the same line?" Sorry that my mistakes take up a good chunk of the video, but I'm not sorry enough to take them out. After retrying about 487 times, I decide, after all that, I don't like the eyes closed, and I want to do them open. So I buff it all off and start again. At least these ones are straight lines, and they do me much less mental harm. Miraculously, I got those done in one motion. Then I added a couple dots for the main part of the eyes, and she is looking toasted. But I fixed that up very quickly and thickened them up. Gave her a set of new lash extensions for free, $90 value, and finally finished them off with some pupils. Now I'll be going in and adding a tedious but necessary finishing touch to our plantster piece, if you will, an outline. Alas, we move on to her little rose hands. I'll be doing one on either side of her head, so one on the index and one on the ring, and I'll be doing those with stamps. I considered drawing them, but I just did not feel like doing that with my left hand, so it also gave me an excuse to use one of my stamping plates because I have a stash of them that are virtually untouched. As you can see by how clean this one is, I have never used it before, and I'm not going to clean it with this solution because I put my plates away clean. Now I'm a little too poor for all the clear jelly stamper colors, but we're going to use this Born Pretty one that I got on Amazon about 3 years ago. It's still holding on though, so might as well use it. Pick it up with my stamper there. This is the cubed stamper. And we're just going to slap it on there wherever I see fit. And I'll repeat it for the other hand. I'm honestly so disappointed in myself that I didn't recognize Roselia's drinking problem sooner. Like, she always has a bud in each hand. I kind of goofed the side of this nail here, so I'm just taking my dotting tool and some more of that polish and covering up my mistake. For the final nails, I will be doing some of the easiest cloud nails ever, which is just taking the tip of a Q-tip, dipping it in some white gel paint or polish, even regular polish works, and just dabbing it on the nail. You can blend it as much or as little as you want, depending on how fluffy you want them. Or you can do 1 or 2 coats as well, depending on if you want them to be more subtle or more vavavoom-y, you know? And now we're done! Can you believe it? It's time to add some top coat, and I always recommend double top coating things when you have used a polish, a regular air dry material for it. So that's what I'll do. I'm doing 1 coat just to protect it, and then I'm going to do 1 finishing touch on it and then seal them all again, making sure to really get those edges. So here they are, all done in all of their glory. Okay, these are really cute, okay? Even if they're not really your style, I hope you maybe learned something or at least had a laugh. Make sure to give it a like if you liked it, comment your thoughts, and, you know, maybe even subscribe. Or whatever.